Nasikia una travel on Monday.
Nani anapeana hii information hivi?
Na muogopi Juliana?
Alikuwa anazunguka tu kwa barabara na sio kwa nyumba za watu.
Uongo ni mbaya.
Sometimes uongo husaidia.
The best time sasa saa hii ni uende nyumbani.
Sasa ni saa ngapi msichana anatembea usiku shwali?
Si utasoma uko unapeleka shule na gari yako kubwa.
Chindoro Mombera.
Ma.
In collaboration with governors and members of parliament, the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation's Matching Fund program has mobilized over 4 billion Kenyan shillings to power 1,388 electrification projects across 20 counties. From dairy farms to market stalls, from classrooms to health centers, light is transforming lives in rural Kenya. It's a story of progress, where farmers now use electric machines to save time and boost productivity. Entrepreneurs bring essential services closer to their customers, and markets thrive under the glow of security lights. In homes, children study after dark, families feel safer, and new opportunities are born. In health centers, power means life-saving equipment, refrigerated medicines, and round-the-clock care. REREC, working with county governments and NGCDF, is making sure no household, school, or public facility in rural Kenya is left in the dark. REREC's Matching Fund program, powering communities, lighting futures.
Every glass of milk tells a story of care, quality, and goodness from the farm to your table. At the Kenya Dairy Board, we ensure that every drop you drink is fresh, safe, and wholesome from licensed dairy business operators you can trust. Milk is nature's pure gift, packed with calcium for strong bones, protein for growth, and vitamins to keep you healthy and active. Always look for dairy products permitted by the Kenya Dairy Board, KDB, your guarantee for safe and quality milk and dairy products. From our children to our adults, from breakfast to bedtime, the goodness of milk powers every moment. The Kenya Dairy Board, world-class dairy regulator committed to quality, safety, and national pride.
From Narok to Mandera,
New York to Tokyo.
You are in time for Prime Edition, live from Broadcasting House in Nairobi, Kenya.
Well, tonight we engage a panel of experts and the Bako boy who put together a Bako loader from scratch. All that coming up. And our topic tonight is nurturing gifted youth to shape Kenya's future.
Good evening. I am Mchuma Odim.
And I'm Tom Boyer, top in this live broadcast. Gold and silver.
Pomp and color as 4 world champions return home with medals from the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. No end in sight.
University Lecturers Union says it will not call off Dawn's strike until government meets all grievances, even as court declares the strike illegal. Push for climate justice.
President Ruto says Africa continues to bear the burden of climate change financing, yet it contributes the least to climate crisis.
Plus,
a costly school inferno.
Gatuguru Boys High School parents oppose 25,000 shillings the school is demanding from each to repair burnt dormitories. A very warm welcome. Our socials.
At KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Talk to us. Remember, we'll be having an interactive segment being led by Tom Boyer as we have guests on set with us.
That's
language expert tonight is Byron Abuli.
Yeah, that's right. Speak to us on those social platforms. Let us know what stories get your attention. We will be reading just a couple of your feedback at the tail end of this live broadcast. But let's get into this broadcast. It was pomp and color as 4 world champions returned home Tuesday in the afternoon with, believe it or not, 5 gold medals from the just concluded World Athletic Championships held in Tokyo, Japan, with a rapturous reception from family, friends, and also government officials who turned up at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to welcome back home their team.
Beatrice Chebet with 2 gold medals in 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters. Lilian Odira and Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who bagged gold in 800 meters, and Faith Kipyegon with 1,500 meters gold and another silver in 5,000 meters, were in the last group of Team Kenya, which finished second at the championships with 7 gold, 2 silver, and
2 bronze medals. And that is the report that opens our coverage tonight.
After a spectacular show of brilliance in the just concluded Tokyo World Athletics Championship, the Triumph World Champions jetted back home to a heroic welcome. Beatrice Chebet with 2 gold medals in 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters. Lilian Odira and Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who bagged gold in 800 meters, and Faith Kipyegon with 1,500 meters gold and another silver in 5,000 meters, were in the last group of Team Kenya.
I'm so happy, for me to see women coming up strong and, sweeping all the gold medals from 800 to marathon. That was the happiest moment for me that, have went with the team to a world championship and coming home with 7 gold medals, 6 from women, knowing that I'm the mother of all of them.
As you know, Faith make history, being alikimbia na akapata the 4th gold medal. So multiple world champion ndio nataka na multiple Olympic champion.
Other medalists in Team Kenya were Faith Cherotich and Peres Jepchirchir, who reclaimed Kenya's 3,000 meter steeplechase and marathon gold medals for the first time since 2019.
My target and our target as Kenya team was to return back the title back home because we were the defending. Mary was the defending. So we teamed up as a team. We wanted to return the title back home, but we were never specific on who is to return it back.
Moving on, President William Ruto is tonight renewing calls for urgent reforms at the United Nations, urging the global body to become more representative and purpose-driven.
He decried Africa's continued exclusion from permanent membership in the UN Security Council despite hosting 1.4 billion people, a silence he termed unjust and stifling.
The president also pressed for overhauls in the international financial system, arguing that Africa bears the brunt of skewed multilateral frameworks.
Ruto made the remarks after attending the opening of the 80th UN General Assembly debates in New York.
Well, he is expected to address the assembly on Wednesday. Here's that report.
The reform of the UN is no longer about if, but it is when, and that when is now. Because unless and until we reform the UN, it will continue to remain undemocratic, unrepresentative, and not fit for purpose. And it is the reason why, as we come to this UN at the 80th, we must also be very careful about what the future looks like and how the UN we have to reform the UN Security Council. Africa and our 1.4 billion people must have voice, must be represented. We must reform the international financial architecture so that it represents more, it becomes more representative. We have greater voice, we have greater say, we have greater representation, so that we can deal with the challenges of the world in a manner that respects the views and perspectives of everybody.
The government has asked striking university lecturers to go back to work.
Now, speaking in Mombasa, Cabinet Secretary for Education Julius Ogamba warned that the court has already declared the strike, which began last week, illegal.
The CS noted that the disbursement of the 2.73 billion shillings is a commitment by the government to dialogue as they work to resolve the other pending demands.
Now, in a rejoinder, WASU says that it will not go back to class until the full payment of 2017-2021 CBA arrears and the negotiations and signing of the 2025-2029 CBA begin, noting that the implementation of the latter was to begin on the 1st of July of 2025.
Here is that report.
During the opening of the week-long teachers' conference that is aimed to review the status of pre-service teachers' training and teachers' employment in Kenya, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba urged the striking dons to call off the strike and go back to work. Ogamba says the courts have since declared the strike illegal, noting the continued withdrawal of labour is in contempt of the court's ruling.
Court orders are supposed to be obeyed. Otherwise, you will be in contempt. And if you are in contempt, disciplinary action might be taken against you. So we are asking. We have done a lot in the sector, and we've agreed that all grievances can be discussed without us going on strike, which affects our learners.
Ogamba says with the disbursement of the 2.73 billion shillings, the ministry and government has shown its commitment to working on a formula to meeting their pending demands.
So based on that good faith, and based on the fact that we've shown the capacity to negotiate even the hardest issues that they had, it is good for them to go back to class so that studies can continue as we continue negotiating.
The lecturers are, however, demanding the full payment of the 7.9 billion shillings arrears for the 2017-2021 CBA, 2.7 billion shillings arrears of the 2021-2025, and commencement of negotiations and signing for the 2025-2029 CBA. On the CBE curriculum, Ogamba reiterated the need to ensure there are teachers to handle specialized subjects.
The shortage is acute in specialized subjects such as social studies, integrated science, pre-technical studies, and various vocational and STEM fields. This underscores the urgent need for expanded and targeted teacher training programs, especially at the diploma and degree levels, to address these gaps and support Kenya's curriculum reforms.
Meanwhile, the recent demands by the junior secondary school teachers to have autonomy from the primary section, the CS noted the policy is still under review and a way forward will be arrived at soon.
But it is an issue that, as we speak today, is part of the reforms that we'll be doing when we do the reforms to the acts, to the statutes, and the policy reforms. So it's not something that it is how do you put this? It is still work in progress. Yes, it's work in progress.
For Prime Edition from Mombasa County, I am Anburu.
Story leads us to our first break, 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up,
we are engaging a panel of experts and the gifted boy who built the backhoe loader from scratch. Our focus, of course, tonight is nurturing gifted youth to shape Kenya's future. All that coming up on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
your time. The transgenerational conversation that has been moving across counties is now here at the heart of Busia. From the bold ideas of our youth to the wisdom of our elders, this is the space where generations meet, share, and shape the future together.
Give that space to the youth, I think we'll have a different conversation.
Because there's a lot that needs to be done when we talk about governance and accountability.
Corruption is something that nobody can hide today.
Most of our grievances are not heard because most of the leaders were of the older generation.
Culture, business, leadership, education. No conversation is too small. No voice is left behind. Transgenerational conversation. This Thursday, the 25th of September 2025, live from Busia County, starting at 7:30 p.m. on KBC Channel 1. This conversation is brought to you by NCIC, Korea International Cooperation Agency, and UNDP. Don't miss it.
A grown woman who we took abroad to study, then she decides to get a baby and keep it a secret for God knows how long.
Don't owe you any explanation.
Are you Chris?
Unajua mimi ni nani? If you don't let me go right now, my friend, you are in trouble.
You need to come back. I feel like something bad is gonna happen.
Itisha alafu nilalishwe chini, wacha ikae.
I want to go home.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
I don't trust her one bit.
Lucky, right? Relax.
Welcome back to Prime Edition, our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Tom, on to other developments tonight.
Absolutely. The civil society groups are warning tonight that devolution risks collapse, faulting state agencies for what they say is normalizing corruption and also betraying the promise of the 2010 Constitution.
The Kenya Devolution CSO's working group is demanding swift prosecution of individuals implicated in graft cases, rollout of mandatory e-procurement processes across the 47 counties, and the urgent passage of the Public Participation Bill of 2025.
That's right. The group now says that without these reforms, Kenyans will continue to be subjected to poor services despite billions being allocated to counties.
Ben Chumba reports.
After Kenya adopted the devolved structure of government, civil society groups say the structure is under threat. Meeting in Nairobi, the Kenya Devolution Civil Society Working Group are warning that corruption has been normalized and public trust is crumbling. The group are accusing the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions of fueling a culture of impunity by failing to prosecute high-profile graft cases and in some instances dropping them.
Fast-track investigation of all cases, graft cases, including devolution-related cases, and if necessary, establish a unit, a special unit, to handle devolution-related graft cases so that they are fast-tracked and citizens get justice and we stem out corruption. Any incidences of dropping of cases must be explained publicly to the satisfaction of the citizens.
The forum hailed recent court rulings holding governors personally accountable for procurement and declaring the National Government Constituency Development Fund unconstitutional.
This ruling now makes the governors be accountable, that they no longer say that they didn't know what is done in procurement. They are now supposed to make sure that procurement laws are followed to the latter.
But the group insists the silver bullet lies in mandatory e-procurement across all 47 counties to reduce what they term as the biggest loophole for theft of public resources.
Over 70% county budget spent through procurement. The current opaque and manual system is a gateway for the massive leakage of public funds. We strongly support the full implementation of centralized, transparent, and end-to-end procurement system across 47 counties.
They also called for urgent passage of the stalled Public Participation Bill of 2025, saying citizens must have a voice that counts in how counties spend billions of shillings.
This bill will also guarantee that citizens are involved from the beginning to the end of decision-making processes. And lastly, it will ensure transparency, inclusivity, and accountability in governance.
Devolution must work. Ugatuzi must work.
Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
Onto the corridors of justice.
That's right. Former Provincial Commissioner David Nathan Chelegoi has mounted his defense in a high-profit land fraud case.
Chelegoi is accused of conspiring to defraud a 1.35 billion shilling property in Lower Kabete, but insists the case is a plot to strip him of land he was legally allocated nearly 3 decades ago.
More details in the Scales of Justice segment.
Appearing before Milimani Chief Magistrate Delphina Alego, 72-year-old David Nathan Chelegoi dismissed claims that he colluded with a man not before court to defraud businessmen Ashok Rupshi and Hiten Kumar Raja of a 7.3-hectare parcel of land along Lower Kabete Road.
My innocence and ownership of this property, even when I've been peddled in these other courts, all of them, the purpose was to get me intimidated, surrender. I thank God that I have not been able to surrender. I've remained very resilient. For over 40 years, I've never gone to church.
The former provisional administrator testified that he was allocated the disputed land in January 1995 at a premium of 2.48 million shillings and only regularized ownership in 2020 due to financial and work-related challenges.
So you confirm to this court that you did your letter of acceptance on the 31st of March 2021, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was payment effected with regards to that amount?
Yes, Your Honor, payment is effected.
And was it accepted by the ministry?
It was accepted.
He added that the Ministry of Land later validated his allotment and confirmed he paid the required amount in March 2021.
Was the letter of allotment issued to you by the Ministry of Lands?
Yes.
Was the certificate of title issued to you by the Ministry of Lands?
Yes.
At the time of 11th October 2023, was there an order of cancellation of your title issued by the courts?
No.
Also testifying was former DCI headquarters document examiner Emmanuel Kenga, who admitted relying on photocopies rather than original documents during his analysis.
The star is there on both the question signature, name stamp impression, and
you can see the stars are different from the known and
no, they're not.
The question document.
The stamp impressions were made by the same institute.
Your Honor, I would like.
Kenga, however, defended his methodology as sound, maintaining that his findings were accurate and that the stamp impression in questions were made by the same instruments despite appearing different.
In the absence of the original documents, an examiner can work on photocopies and make an opinion, provided those documents which are copies are clear and there is no manipulation on those documents.
The case will proceed at the Milimani Law Courts on 24th September 2025. Letua Debra for Prime Edition.
The world of governance is vast and can be alien to the ordinary man on the street. Critical issues are going to be discussed. From white papers to policy positions, it is easier to get lost in the labyrinth of words.
Inside Government takes you to key global metropolis where critical decisions are made and where policies are crafted.
We interview policymakers and senior government officials to highlight and enumerate government policies and projects. We take a deep dive into the underbelly of complex red tape to demystify policies across the country, across the world. Join me, O'Brien Kimani, on Inside Government, only on KBC Channel 1.
Nasikia una travel on Monday.
Nani anapeana hii information hivi?
Na muogopi Juliana?
Alikuwa anazunguka tu kwa barabara na sio kwa nyumba za watu.
Uongo ni mbaya.
Sometimes uongo husaidia.
The best time sasa sahi ni uende nyumbani.
Sasa ni saa ngapi msichana anatembea usiku shwali?
Si utasoma uko unapeleka shule na gari yako kubwa.
Chindoro Mombera mwana.
Wengine watasema niko na
Thank you for keeping it Prime Edition. Tonight in our interactive segment, we are focusing on innovation, nurturing gifted youth to shape Kenya's future. Tom?
That's right. And my panelists, I will begin to introduce the one on my immediate left. We have Mohammed Ibrahim, who is the Managing Director of Mantrak Kenya Limited. Thank you for coming, and I know that you are sponsoring the boy who is on set also. Next to MD, we have Dr. Margaret Kagwe. Margaret is a senior consultant at Esteem Mental Health. So you're going to tell us how do we nurture children who are special, like Samuel Omotsi, who is next to Daktari. Thank you very much, Samuel Omotsi. Samuel is a gifted boy. He goes to Gatina Primary School, that is in Kawangware, one of the informal settlements here in Nairobi. And Samuel has done something that really has caught not only the attention of industry, but also the nation, because he has built a backhoe loader, something that trained engineers are not able to do. And he has not only built it from scrap material, but he is actually able to operate it remotely. So, Ntakuliza Omotsi, thank you for coming. Tell me, where did this idea of building a backhoe loader come from?
This idea, I just thought about it because when I walked on the roads to maybe to go somewhere, I could see the backhoe loaders and the excavators working on the road, beside the road there. So I was very inspired with them, with the work they were doing. Mm-hmm. So when I saw them working like that, I said that maybe I can try to make mine, which I will be operating like theirs, which I will be enjoying with when operating. Yes, like that.
And it's interesting to note that you ultimately built what we are now seeing. And you did it without the assistance of any teacher in your classroom. So we can comfortably say that you built it outside the classroom. How was that process for you? How did you learn? Did somebody teach you?
No, I didn't learn from anywhere. I was just testing and testing. For maybe these motors, I use batteries and these gears to test and test to see if something can work. To achieve my goal of making like these machines.
And obviously you achieved that goal. But let me ask you, in the process of building it, sometimes it can be a bit frustrating. Did you encounter any challenges in the process of building it?
Yes.
Talk to us about those challenges.
You could even be making something and using a sharp tool.
Yes.
So by mistake you cut yourself, or when you make something and does not work as you want, so you get disappointed and see and just
continue and you continue.
Yes, you just continue.
Yeah.
When you see that it does not work the way you want, you can leave it like that. But then when you are just maybe you don't have nothing, you don't have something to do, you say, let me come back to this to try again to see if it can work.
Okay.
Now. Yes.
All right. Let me bring in Daktari. And you've listened I watched you. You're listening very keenly to what Omotsi was saying. And you know, this is a story that offers some level of uniqueness. As a psychosocial expert, you know, what are your quick thoughts just listening to a 16-year-old boy who has built this kind of a machine outside of the formal classroom setup that we are used to?
Yeah.
What are you seeing as a scientist?
Yes, for me, I see communication because I feel like when you look at what he has done and the materials, it shows you that there was thinking, and before the doing, the thinking came. And then because he doesn't have the resources, he decides, I'm going to look for the resources. So he's communicating what he's able to do. And if he can do this without the guidance of a grown-up or a teacher or maybe a tutor, then it means this child is gifted creatively and scientifically. Because if I look at that, I'm seeing electricity and I'm seeing a lot of gadgets, I'm seeing gears and all that. And for him to bring them together so that they can work, that's science.
That's science.
Yes.
So what do you think is going, if you look at what he has built,
yes,
what is going through his brain?
A lot. And I wouldn't even dare to say that I understand. Because for me, I wouldn't be able to do what he has done. Okay. So I feel like there's a lot of untapped capacity. I feel like this is the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
I feel like with the proper facilitation and guidance, this boy may give us something that we have never seen before.
Yeah, bigger. Yeah. And that brings in the question of scale. But let me bring in Managing Director Mohammed Ibrahim, and he was also listening to what you're saying. I know that he's part of the first responders. You know, they watched him trend online and they were very interested. And I'm aware that there's some sponsorship that you're extending to Omotsi. But tell us, what is it that stood out for you? There must have been something that resonated with you to jump in and say we want to associate ourselves with Little Sam, or Super Sam, let me call him that.
Yeah, actually we call him the Little Super Sam.
Yes.
Inside the Mantrak, Kenya. So basically, because we understand what it takes to bring a backhoe loader together and to make it functional, immediately we saw his creation. He is a gifted person.
He's a gifted person.
And he needs more facilitation, as the doctor said, to unveil what he can do, because it's a very powerful statement.
Okay.
To see what he has done so far.
Yeah. And for you, I mean, Mantrak, you'll tell us a bit about what you do, but I know that your business is about machines, but you are now veering off into the space of mentality and supporting people at the very formative stages. I mean, how does that fit in with your overall CSR, for example?
Actually, it's even beyond the CSR part. Actually, we believe in the Mantrak group entirely and the Mantrak Kenya, that transforming communities and transforming lives and impacting people's life is an essential part of it. We are not building equipments or we are not providing equipments. We are building communities.
Yeah.
So hand by hand with Sam and the more little Sams, which we have been taking around our place for the last 100 years.
Yeah.
It was just the other day celebrating 100 years of being the Caterpillar dealer, Caterpillar dealer existence in Kenya.
In Kenya?
Yes, and to see young engineers able to put this together, we help them to take it to the next level, and it's part of what we do all the time.
Oh wow, that's great. Let me bring in Daktari. Daktari, you know, just listening in, this obviously is raw talent, you know, at its finest.
Yes.
But it certainly comes with certain challenges as well.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
how does a young man like this silence that inner voice that tells him, "Hauwezi kufanya hii"? You cannot achieve this. How does he overcome it at 16 and go ahead and practically build a machine like this? And what are those 2 or 3 things that you can, you know, offer some as guidance? Because he's obviously advancing towards his true north. So there's going to be a story of success.
Yes.
But, you know, balance, the cardinal principle of balance. He's also likely to run into a bit of trouble, a bit of setbacks. So what can you offer him as a psychosocial expert so that you prepare him, you know, for those eventualities?
Okay, number one, I really want to congratulate Sam for these achievements. Majority of 16-year-olds are out there experimenting and trying and watching and, you know, doing a lot of things. and for him to be able to do what he has been able to do, and he's explaining that it has not come easy. There are setbacks that he has faced. One of the things I would want is that he's telling us his story, and this is part of his story. I would encourage him to continue telling us your story, continue to go to the next level. Do not be very excited at what, the response of people, because of course I'm also excited about it. I would want you to bring out what it is that is inside of you, and that means that with the help that you're getting, you need to be able to say, this is what probably I would want more. Maybe there are some things that were hard to find out there, and that you would probably work better with them. So be very specific on the kind of help you want. And of course, when it comes to the excitement of people, it's okay to acknowledge it, but go back to the real you. This is the real you, and continue creating, because this is just the beginning. And with the facilitation and support, I feel like you can be able to do more and bigger. You can even be able to come up with something that we have not seen before, so that we can start solving our problems, the problems we have. You could actually observe in the society where you come from. What are the gaps there? What do you feel like is lacking there? Maybe you could now ask yourself, how can I solve this problem, and what can I create? Because I think he has that capacity, if he can be able to do this.
Before I bring him in, you spoke about, how do you mention the word sensitive? But we also hear other words like, hyper. We hear other words like fast. We hear words like slow. And if you go a bit deeper, there are even words like ADHD, autism, and all these things. And these are words that perhaps we hear, but we're not familiar with. Yes. Is Sam's case, is it worthy of an evaluation, to establish, are we dealing with a gifted boy, and, so that ultimately he's not disadvantaged?
Okay. Number one, I feel like this is already a communication of who he is. Because trying to fit a child in a particular diagnosis may actually come up with some of the negative things that are associated with the diagnosis. But for me, I already feel like Sam is communicating, I'm able to do this. And I feel like it's time we begin to focus on what a child is able to do, rather than what they are not able to do. Because when we do that and we concentrate on what they are not able to do, then they feel defeated, and they begin to leave the label. And I feel like as much as an evaluation is necessary for his own benefit, I feel like this is already communicating an ability.
So what are you saying? You're saying an evaluation would even be limiting?
Yes. For example, if a child is told they are autistic, parents begin to look for signs of autism, and they begin to go and Google and find what does autistic tendencies do. So we are not able to address what the child is able to do. For me, I'm a believer in what is a child able to do. When I see what they're able to do, then I'm able to help them with that, and then you can also be able to say, how do we go about what he's not able to do? Because sometimes we are led by what a child is not able to do, and that is equal to our education system.
And I know MD wants to chime in before you see, he's doing this, and he's in grade 9.
Yes.
But if you do some background research, the school that he goes to, Gatina Primary School, which is in Kawangware, there is no class that offers this.
That's true.
So, I mean, I wish I would have invited an education expert, but what are you seeing? I mean, how then do we ensure that he's grounded and he's advancing towards his true north in terms of his craft?
For me, I feel like an evaluation is necessary. And there are several ways to support the boy. Number one, he could be accelerated if he's able to do that. Number two, he could also be enriched such that he goes to the regular system, and then he's given, when he's off the regular system, maybe during holidays, he can be exposed to information and all the gadgets he needs to be able to create what he can create. He could also be taken to a special school for gifted children scientifically, where he can now be exposed. It may be difficult initially because of like where he's coming from, but he fits in because the brain is there. He could also be given individualized attention. So there are many avenues, but of course they also come with the downside. If he's individualized, it means how does he relate with his peers, because he also needs to grow as a young person.
Let me just hear what MD, what kind of a support, because some of our viewers are wondering, so What is the support? How does it look like for Sam, from you as an organization, as Mantrak?
From our side, we have offered Sam the sponsorship for his education system till he finalized to the secondary school. And as the doctor rightly said, we offered him also, we enrolled him in Caterpillar University in Technician for World, where he can take some of the mechanical engineering to the real practice, plus an internship in the summer, exactly, doctor, as you said, so he can get exposed with real equipments, with taking all the safety measures, because I don't want you also to be hurt like you were saying earlier in the beginning. You have to be safe, which is part of our culture. To be good engineer, you have to be safe. And that's exactly what we are trying to do, to transform this gift to reality. And to see it happening. Even when we were celebrating our centennial just the other day, and the Sam was part of the panelist in that discussion, and even our customers wanted to be part of the story. Some of them said, do you have technology to ensure that you are connected to the world, and do you have laptop? And they have gifted him a laptop.
They have gifted him a laptop.
They have gifted him the latest mobile for him to ensure he even can study. Stuff more to increase what he can do.
That's good.
And we hope that will be a very good tool for him and the part of transforming life, as we say.
No, it's good, because I asked him before this interview started whether he knew he has trended all over the world. And he told me he doesn't know, and I asked him why. And he told me he doesn't have a smartphone. So it's good to hear that, there are people who are committing to support Sam's story. Listen, I mean, I don't know. Sam's story is a reminder to me that genius can come from anywhere, and I just want to get your last word, Mohammed. If you were to take my seat and write a headline 10 years from today, what would Sam's story feel like if you continue supporting him? Because you said you celebrated the last 100 years, and that means that there are also projections for the next 100 years. So if Sam is going to fit within that framework of growth for you, where do you see him 10 years from today, if he continues with the kind of program and support that he's receiving from organizations like yours?
I think he will be in a very advanced position, one of the innovators who can show us something new. And it's part of our mission in transforming communities for a better future. Because this is what all businesses, along with the community, should be hand to hand for building the future. We consider building future, building Kenya, and that can only happen with talents like Sam. We even took it to the next level. During our celebration, our group CEO came to stand and say, we will sponsor 1,000 Sam during the next 3 years.
So you're going beyond
to the next level.
So you're going beyond Sam?
Definitely. This year we have sponsored already 220 kids. Sam is only one of them, and we are taking it for another 1,000 kids in the next 3 years.
So you must be focusing on children who come from informal settlements.
Definitely. And even some of them gets an internship opportunity to be trained, and some of them are my colleagues in the same company. We were working together. Because that's what we believe in. It's beyond the building projects and providing power or Caterpillar equipments or power generation. It's beyond that. It's building communities hand by hand.
It's
for
good
a better future.
It's good to hear that. Let me bring Dr. even as we're winding down. What, after listening, excuse me, after listening to Mohammed and the young boy, what as your final thoughts, what should parents and teachers do to nurture this kind of talents that we have seen, without necessarily overwhelming the child?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Number one, parents sometimes assume they know their children, but children begin to speak by the way they behave. And this is one of the behavior that we can tell Sam has communicated, that I can build. And instead of discouraging them, we need to create an environment where curiosity is encouraged. Because I'm imagining when he was going to collect the things he was collecting, another parent will be like, stop, don't go to the trash, don't do this, don't do that. So we should encourage.
We should encourage.
Yeah.
Sam, one last word, because I'm told to wind up. Ni nini utaambia wale watoto wengine huko nje? One sentence.
mimi nawaambia kama mtu ako na talent yoyote asi give up kwa hiyo talent hadi maybe disappoint ama ikimfanya kwe bored asi give up. I keep trying.
Hiyo mguu yake aweke kwa accelerator na asitoe, si ndio? Wazi. Thank you so much for coming. I want to thank Samuel Omotsi for joining us. Oh, by the way, he was accompanied by his dad. We have rules and regulations. You don't allow kids to go on air, but the father is here with us, so there's straight consent there. I also want to thank you, Dr. Margaret Kagwe from the Esteem Mental Health. A special thank you to Mohammed Ibrahim, Managing Director of Mantra Kenya Limited. I want to thank you so much for coming, and I hope you'll come again. Well, we're taking a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at 1, the day's business, and number 2, a little later on, we will be getting a look at the day's sports. And perhaps I'm told before we go, can we have a look at just one more time on how do you operate that machine so that you'll take us to the break? Let's just have a camera just looking at what Sam can do. He built it. He didn't only use scrap metal. Can I have the camera just zooming in? There you go. And you can see that's the machine. Sam, can we see how it operates? It's remote controlled. Oh, you can also say something?
It's actually a real imitation of the real caterpillar.
Backhoe loader?
We even have done a side-by-side comparison with most of the functionalities, hydraulic and gears, buckets.
Oh my God.
For the excavation model and for the loader as well.
For the loader.
So we have done a side-by-side video for him in the facility, and it's amazing.
So there's a side-by-side video?
Yes.
Of the small miniature?
Of his Kenyan
made. And the big one?
And the big one.
Oh my God, this is a story you have to track. I want to thank you all so much. Thank you very much, Sam. That is deadly. You've done so well. I'm extremely proud of you. We are proud of you as a media.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
When ndio Alphonse Makoha Makacha. Sasa ukiniambia bebe huko unanifanya hivi na mkono. Si ongea. Ai, mpelekeni mental hospital.
Umesema nilikuwa na wanyama hapo. Ni wanyama ulikuwa unakuja kuutumia ama ulikuwa unakuja kuutumia binadamu?
Acha kunipima akili yangu.
Wewe ndio unanipima. Kwani unafikiri mimi nataka kujua ni kilo ngapi? Ama uliona niko na talanta ya kuongea, si ndio? Ama ya kulia kama wanyama.
Hata kama uko na talanta, wewe unatumia hiyo talanta vibaya. Sikia mheshimiwa.
Hiyo hoteli ni yako? Hapana. Wewe uliniwekea kuku hapo hivyo? Hapana. Did you serve me? Hapana.
Same question.
Sema kila kitu hapana.
Nini?
My name is Wairimu Jenga. Now you will gain access to all Kenya Wildlife Service managed national parks, reserves and sanctuaries free of charge this Saturday, 27th of September 2025, as part of the celebrations of the United Nations World Tourism Day. Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano is urging Kenyans to take advantage of the free access to the iconic spaces and reconnect with the country's rich wildlife heritage.
For the second year in a row, Kenyan citizens will have an opportunity to visit all national parks, national reserves and sanctuaries managed by Kenya Wildlife Service free of charge. This is after the government announced free entry to these spaces this Saturday, the 27th of September 2025. In a statement, Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano says the decision was made to honor this year's World Tourism Day. The United Nations World Tourism Day is marked annually on September 27th and serves as a platform to promote responsible and sustainable tourism globally. Miano says by opening the gates to these iconic spaces, we want to inspire Kenyans to protect and value our natural treasures for generations to come. The initiative is designed to reconnect Kenyans with their country's rich wildlife heritage while fostering appreciation of biodiversity and a deeper commitment to conservation. The public is encouraged to make the most of this opportunity to explore and learn more about Kenya's unique landscapes and wildlife, which remain not only a source of national pride, but also part of the world's heritage.
Dairy farmers have been encouraged to embrace aggregation and digitization in their venture to attract investment and reduce post-harvest losses. Swedish ambassador to Kenya, Hakan Akasson, says Kenyan dairy products have the potential to penetrate key markets and farmers should produce quality and quantity through aggregation and better services through digitization.
Kenya targets to double milk production to 10 billion litres in the next 5 years to meet both local and export demand. To achieve this, dairy farmers have been encouraged to aggregate their produce and form cooperatives to attract both local and foreign investors for additional working capital.
It's been a beautiful cooperation between the dairy, the county and the Swedish company, Tetra Pak, whereby the dairy now has equipment which makes it possible for farmers to scale up.
Increasing milk processing is earmarked to reduce post-harvest losses.
It is easy to trace even where the milk came from, why it is bad, if it is bad, and in the processing also we are using that system.
The offering of the Tetra Pak system, which has enabled us to be able to get more milk from the farmers and also improve on our value chain in the dairy production.
Food and Agriculture Organization is urging farmers to register with the government to get adequate information on good animal husbandry for production of quality milk.
Digitalization, innovation, technology are just inputs. And the next step is how are these inputs actually being transformed and actually contributing to a better life for the farmers, to a private partner, public partnership.
Kwa fertilizer nashukuaga hii ya serikali na ikikuja mimi natumiwaga message nikaendea huko wa Magana.
Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
Market for Kenyan products has been enhanced following the launch of the Africa Trade Gateway digital platform that is designed to support compliance, matchmaking and secure transactions for businesses across the continent. MSME's Development Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya says the new platform will reduce cross-border trade risks for Kenyan traders.
Kenya's digital economy is projected to contribute 662 billion shillings to gross domestic product by 2028, spurred by strategic policy reforms and powered by key sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, transport and trade. The newly launched Africa Trade Gateway is projected to deepen this transformation by helping businesses to settle payments securely in local currencies and build verified partnerships to reduce the risk of cross-border trade.
ATG breaks down borders, enabling MSMEs and cooperatives to connect directly with continental buyers and suppliers, ensuring that Kenya's farmers, artisans, and small manufacturers can reach wider, more lucrative markets.
Oparanya says the government is working closely with the private sector to accelerate regional integration under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
ATG, we now have the means to turn potential into performance and promise into prosperity.
The ATG platform is an ecosystem that we are now providing to traders, corporates, financial institutions, so as to facilitate trade across the borders. And this is the main purpose of us activating the ATG platform in Kenya.
We could be having very good products. Like, I don't know how many people know that we have fish, very sweet fish in Turkana. We don't know how many people know that we feed the nation in Nyandarua with our potatoes. This is the information that now will be shared across the globe.
Real Sources Africa is acting as the official partner or agent for Afrexim Bank across East Africa. And our main role as Real Sources is to support onboarding, structuring of transactions, and making sure that every trader who's on board on the platform is able to trade comfortably, consistently, and efficiently.
Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition.
Well, that's all we had lined up for you, but don't go anywhere. In studio, Bernard Okumu with the day's sports.
And thank you so much, Nimo. Indeed, it is time for the latest from the sports world. We begin with soccer, where Police FC's head coach Etienne Dairagije has expressed confidence that the club will make it to the second round of the CAF Champions League when they face Somalia outfit Mogadishu City FC in their second leg, first preliminary round qualifier on Sunday at Nyayo National Stadium here in Nairobi. Meanwhile, Nairobi United is braced for the second leg, first preliminary round CAF Confederations Cup duel against Uganda's NEC FC on Saturday, with the second round slot at stake as Rising Starlets enter into camp ahead of their return leg second round FIFA Under-20 World Cup qualifier against Ethiopia on Sunday at Ulinzi Sports Complex. Here's our football roundup. Police FC carry a healthy 3-1 lead into the second leg and will be out to complete the double against the Somali opponents to guarantee themselves a place in the second preliminary round.
Kitu kilitusaidia katika maandalizi yetu ni kuwa tumewaona katika hii Sekafa tuliparticipate na sisi. Isingekuwa hivyo, nadhani ingekuwa ni surprise kuwa watu wengi wanajua zania timu wanahisi ni nchi inacheza na nchi nyingine, lakini ukija kuangalia uhalisia sasa, hata for the first time nawaona walidraw na Yondram Al-Ahly ya Sudan. Ndio siku kadhaa nimewaona hao walikuwa vizuri, wanabidi kuwa sana kwa tight space, na ni timu ambayo inaweza kukusurprise in time kwa counter attack. Niliona ni timu nzuri.
Timu iko sawa, tukijua kwamba ile timu tulicheza nayo na tuliona vizuri, na Mungu alitusaidia tukapiga bao 3 na wakatufunga 1. So mazoezi ni kama kawaida, kufuatilia katikati ya mwisho wa wiki tukicheza nao tena tutafute tu win tena.
Meanwhile, Mogadishu City FC head coach Ali Abubakar is hopeful that his side will overturn the deficit and advance to the second round.
And we still believe we can make it this. We can turn this around in the second leg, and also it will open. What I will say, it will open gate for Somalia football, because if you see all the top clubs, also all the mid-table clubs in every league, especially in East Africa, I think we have only 2 players who are playing KMC who are origin from Somalia. We have Ibrahim Ilyas and also Kubai who are playing KMC club, and also for MCC to qualify in the group stage, it will open doors for so many players to be scouted in various clubs.
The aggregate winner will face either Jamus FC of South Sudan or Sudan's Al Hilal in the second preliminary round scheduled next month. Elsewhere, Nairobi United intensified their training ahead of the return leg fixture, first preliminary round CAF Confederations Cup clash against Uganda's National Enterprise Corporation NECFC on Sunday at Nyayo National Stadium. The two teams fought to a 2-2 draw during the first leg held on Sunday in Kampala. The winner over the 2 legs is set to face either Tunisia's Etoile du Sahel or Al Ahly Madani of Sudan in the second round. Finally, the national women's under-20 soccer team head coach Jacqueline Juma is confident of guiding the team past Ethiopia in their second leg, second round 2026 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifier scheduled Saturday at Ulinzi Sports Complex here in Nairobi. Kenya arrived back home on Monday evening and are currently in camp, fine-tuning themselves ahead of the return leg. The two teams battled to 1-1 draw during the first leg clash last Sunday in Addis Ababa. A win for Rising Starlets will see them through to the third round, where they could face either Angola or Tanzania. At the conclusion of the third round fixtures, 8 teams will progress to the fourth and final round of qualifying, where top 4 teams will eventually earn slots at the 12th edition of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup Finals, set to be held in Poland from 2nd to 27th of September next year.
And still on soccer, where 3KFC, Migori Youth and Kisumu All-Stars have received sponsorship deals amounting to 18 million shillings from Mozartbet Kenya and a kit launching event held today at the Nairobi Serena Hotel here in Nairobi. Sean Muya details.
National Super League sides received 5 million shillings each and an additional 1 million shillings for the kit sponsorship, a move expected to provide a significant boost to the 3 clubs as they look forward to the upcoming NSL season. The Football Kenya Federation welcomed the move, saying such partnerships are key to strengthening the country's league football structures, with the FKF president Hussein Mohamed making a clarion call to fans to stop football hooliganism, which was affecting more engagements.
You are accountable whenever the resources come, that you are transparent in how you do your things, and that you also have integrity in how we run the game. That is the only way you will attract more partnerships and more sponsors to come on board. I want to address the issue of match violence and hooliganism during our games. It must come to an end.
Mozartbet Kenya country manager Sasha Crinetta affirmed to help more teams by engaging in community development to promote local talents, thus uplifting the quality of football in the country.
We believe that grassroots football is the engine room of our country's success in the beautiful game, like the great Brazilian legend Pele calls it. So also we are planning to do a CSR with our teams.
Sean Muya for Prime Edition.
And thank you, Muya, for that report. Across the borders, France striker Ousmane Dembele won the Ballon d'Or for the first time during the 2026 award ceremony in Paris, as Barcelona side Tana Bonmati won the women's trophy for the 3rd time. The Paris Saint-Germain striker... Well, that's all the time we had for on the sports tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bernard Okumu.
Thank you, Coach, for that sporty update. Of course, earlier on we had Nemo, who was giving us the latest in the world of business. We've got to go now.
Thank you for your time and your feedback all the time on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1.
Do you want to read something before we go?
Quite a number, though. Amos wants us to step out.
To step out. He says we're overrunning. There's a word called overrunning.
Yes.
So we have to get out of the studio. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the back-end team, including Amos, our director, I want to thank you for making us your channel of choice. From all of us, it's good night. My name is Tomboy. God bless you.
I am Mchuma Odim. Our sign language expert is Byron Abuli. Good night.
Tushinde.com. Cheza safe, cheza smart. Gambling is addictive, not for persons under the age of 18 years.
Dosi amelala, sukuma moja. Wewe pia ndio muoga. Ndio maana Master Demi ilikupita.
Demi haiko nipita bwana. Mimi najaza entry ticket zangu. Wewe hata unajua namba ya kusenda.
Si ni star 419 hash.
Option